You keep telling yourself you're just overthinking, that you're too intense, that you should be grateful, stay humble, and remain easy to deal with. But the truth is uglier. You're not overthinking. You're noticing. And what you're noticing is that the room you're in is built to keep you small. Look at your week. At work, you do more than your title. You solve problems no one else even sees. Then you watch the loud guy get credit for knowing how to perform with confidence. You stay professional. You stay nice. And you feel the quiet resentment building because you know you're being used, not valued. In your relationships, it's the same pattern. You try to be the stable one, the understanding one. You explain yourself. You compromise. You swallow the sharp truths so you don't start a fight. And somehow you still get framed as the problem when you finally draw a line. You don't feel loved. You feel managed. With friends or family, you feel it even more. You show up with a bigger vision, a new discipline, a different standard. And suddenly, you're acting different. They joke about your habits. They test you. They pull you back into old stories where you were predictable and harmless. You laugh it off, but it stings because you can feel the invisible leash. This is the sign you're outgrowing your environment, not because you're better than people, but because you're becoming dangerous to the system that kept everyone comfortable. And that system has rules. It rewards obedience. It rewards being useful. It punishes anyone who changes the balance. Machiavelli understood this coldly. He wasn't writing about being a good person. He was writing about survival in human groups. He watched as loyalty shifts, friendships are traded, and people smile as they prepare to replace you. He wrote for men who needed clarity, not comfort. Here's the deeper cause you don't want to admit. You were trained to be helpful, obedient, and nice, not powerful. You were trained to be the dependable worker, the good boyfriend, the respectful son, the one who makes life easier for others. And the moment you stop playing that role, your environment reads it as betrayal. So if you feel that tension right now, it's not random. It's a power struggle. And today, you're going to learn the signs Machiavelli would recognize, the signals that your environment is no longer fit for the man you're becoming. You're going to get 6 truths, not motivational quotes, truths about how people react when you evolve and how you respond without turning into a clown or a tyrant. Many will leave in the first minutes because this is not for the soft-minded. This is for men who can look at human nature without flinching. Put your phone face down and listen. This is about your future. If this hit you, write, "I am the strategist," once in the comments, just to mark the day your mindset changed. Now, breathe and start looking at your life like a strategist, not like a servant. You start to notice the mismatch in small moments before it becomes a disaster. It shows up when you talk, and people don't ask questions. They compete. You share an idea, and they don't build on it. They try to poke holes so they can feel superior. You offer clarity, and they call it too serious. You can feel their nervousness when you speak with certainty. In a healthy environment, your growth benefits the group, so the group protects it. In a stagnant environment, your growth becomes a threat, so the group tries to control it. Machiavelli would call this basic politics. People don't just want friendship. They want a position. They want to know where they stand compared to you. A real-life example is the workplace circle, where you used to be one of the guys. You laughed at the same jokes, complained about the same managers, stayed in the same lane. Then you start studying, building skills, asking for bigger work, maybe even planning your own thing. The mood changes. The same people who used to invite you start acting distant. They stop sharing information. They become busy. They start subtle gossip about your motives. Your old behavior created weakness because you assumed belonging was the prize. You kept proving you were loyal, and you expected loyalty back. Machiavelli would warn you that people are loyal while it benefits them. When the balance shifts, they adapt. Not because they're evil, but because they're human. He said men are quick to change their allegiance when it is safe and profitable. The psychology is simple. Your growth raises the cost of keeping you around. If you elevate, you might leave. If you elevate, you might expose their laziness. If you elevate, you might get access they don't have. Their status depends on you staying the same. The power shift begins when you stop explaining and start observing. You don't announce your evolution. You don't argue with their discomfort. You accept that some connections were built on your smaller identity, and you start moving like a prince in enemy territory, polite, controlled, and unreachable. Practically, this means you reduce access. You stop oversharing plans with people who compete with you. You share results instead of dreams. You keep your routines private. You let them wonder. Machiavelli cared about appearance because appearance shapes reactions. When you move quietly, you stop giving insecure people material to attack you with. You also test who respects your silence and who resents it. The resentful ones reveal themselves. Another sign is when your environment rewards your sacrifice but punishes your standards. This one destroys men because it feels like love at first sight. You become the reliable one, the one who fixes everything. In your family, you're the one who pays, who mediates fights, who shows up at every event. In your relationship, you're the one who always apologizes first, who always calms things down. At work, you're the one who stays late, covers shifts, and trains new people. At first, you get praise. You're such a good guy. We don't know what we'd do without you. It feels good because you were trained to measure yourself by usefulness. Then one day, you raise a standard. You say no. You ask for fairness. You request respect. And suddenly you're selfish, changed, difficult. Your old behavior created weakness because you taught people that the PTO believed was low. You trained them that your boundaries were flexible. Machiavelli would say that gifts create expectation. If you give too much too often, people stop seeing it as generosity and start seeing it as usual. Then, when you stop, they feel robbed. The psychology is entitlement. People will accept your sacrifice as their right if you don't anchor it with authority. They will call your kindness a duty and your boundaries a problem. That's why Machiavelli warned about being loved without being feared. Love is unstable. It depends on mood and convenience. Respect holds when love fades. The power shift is not becoming cruel. It's becoming precise. You stop being a volunteer and start being a man with terms. You choose where you invest, and you withdraw from where you're drained. You understand that every yes you give is a contract you sign. If you're outgrowing your environment, you will feel pressure to keep signing bad agreements to keep the peace. Practically, you start small but firm. You don't apologize for having a life. You don't offer long explanations. You say, "I can't," or "That doesn't work for me." Then you hold it. The first few times, people push, they test, they act hurt. This is not proof you're wrong. This is proof that the old system is fighting to survive. A third sign is when your honesty becomes aggression. Not because you changed tone, but because you changed position. When you were the compliant one, your truth was safe. It didn't challenge anyone's power. Now your truth exposes weakness, so it gets labeled. You see this in relationships where you used to be the one who kept the harmony. You bring up something real. I don't feel respected when you speak to me like that. You say it calmly. No insults, no raised voice. Yet the response is immediate defense. Why are you attacking me? Or the passive version, silence, distance, punishment. At work, you point out a risk in a plan. You mention a missed deadline. You ask for clear expectations. Suddenly, you're negative. You're not a team player. In your friend group, you stop laughing at disrespect. You say, "Don't talk to me like that." And people act like you became the villain. Your old behavior created weakness because you taught them that they could be handled with guilt. You made peace the highest value, so they learned to threaten peace, to control you. Machiavelli saw this time and again. People use moral language to win political fights. They accuse you of being unreasonable to stop you from gaining leverage. The psychology is reputational control. If they can label your clarity as aggression, they don't have to address the substance. They shift the conversation from, "What did I do?" to, "How dare you say it?" That keeps them superior and keeps you defensive. The power shift is to separate truth from approval. You don't need permission to describe reality. You speak once, clearly, then you stop debating. Machiavelli advised rulers to avoid being dragged into endless disputes that weaken authority. The more you argue, the more you look unsure. The more you explain, the more they believe you can be negotiated down. Practically, you learn to make statements, not speeches. You say, "This is what I expect." You say, "This is what I will do if it continues." Then you follow through, calmly. No drama. You also learn timing. You don't try to educate emotional people in emotional moments. You speak when you're steady. If they refuse to hear you, that's information. It means the environment is not aligned with your evolution. A fourth sign is when you start seeing the incentives behind people's behavior, and you can't unsee it. This is where you become hard to manipulate. It's also where you start feeling lonely. Because once you see incentives, you stop believing the cute stories. You notice that only when he needs something does he call you. You notice which family member praises you when you comply and goes cold when you don't. You notice which coworker is friendly in public but avoids you when a promotion is on the line. You start seeing how favors are traded, how alliances form, how compliments are used like currency. Machiavelli would call this reading the map. He wrote that a wise man should not trust in appearances alone, because men often present themselves as one thing while acting as another. He wasn't telling you to be paranoid. He was telling you to be awake. Your old behavior created weakness because you believed people's words over their patterns. You believed the story of the relationship, not the reality of the exchange. When you do that, you become easy to use. People can promise you love, loyalty, friendship, and you keep paying in time and effort even when the return is zero. The psychology is that people protect their self-image. They will say noble things while doing selfish things because it lets them feel good. And if you call it out, they will attack your character to protect theirs. This is why your growth causes friction. Your awareness becomes a mirror, and most people hate mirrors. The power shift is to judge by cost, not by talk. Who shows up when there's no applause? Who respects you when you say no? Who still values you when you stop entertaining them? These answers show you where you truly stand. Practically, you stop negotiating with empty words. You set tests, not childish games. real tests of reality. You ask for commitment, and you watch who disappears. You ask for fairness, and you see who gets offended. You stop chasing approval, and you start building a circle where mutual respect is the price of entry. This is also where you become careful with favors. Machiavelli warned that giving benefits can create dependency, but it can also create envy. When you help someone rise, they may love you or hate you for reminding them they needed help. So, you help strategically. You don't rescue people who refuse to grow. You don't pour your strength into weak containers. A fifth sign is when your environment starts punishing your distance. When you were always available, you were easy. When you step back, you become mysterious, cold, arrogant. They don't miss you because they love you. They miss the access. You see it when you stop answering immediately and people accuse you of changing. You see it when you skip gatherings to work on your goal and they say you think you're too good. You see it when you stop being the emotional support system and suddenly you're not there for anyone. Your old behavior created weakness because constant availability is a form of submission. It tells people your time is theirs. Machiavelli understood that power is partly about scarcity. The prince who is everywhere is easily plotted against. The prince who is measured is harder to read, harder to control. The psychology is simple. When you remove easy access, you force people to reveal their motives. Some will adjust and respect you. Others will escalate, guilt you, provoke you, or start a smear campaign. They do it because your distance makes them feel powerless. And powerless people often choose chaos over humility. The power shift is to become intentionally unavailable, not as a tactic to manipulate, but as a boundary to protect your mind. You stop trying to manage everyone's feelings. You stop chasing harmony at the cost of momentum. You accept that some people only liked you because you made their lives easier. Practically, you schedule your life around your mission, not around other people's comfort. You decide your core routine, and you protect it like territory. You answer messages when you choose, not when they demand. You show up when it matters, not as a habit. You keep your presence strong, then you leave. That's a masculine frame. Calm entry, calm exit. You also learn to stop announcing your withdrawals. You don't say, "I'm stepping back because you don't appreciate me." That invites debate. You just step back. Machiavelli would call that controlling the narrative through action. People respect what you do more than what you say. When your actions change, the environment has to update its beliefs about you. Another sign is when the group starts recruiting you into their small wars. This is subtle. It looks like bonding, but it is containment. Someone at work pulls you aside and says, "Don't tell anyone," but the manager is an idiot. A friend calls and wants you to join his beef with another friend. A family member expects you to take sides in an old argument that never ends. They want you emotionally invested in drama that keeps you busy and reactive. When you're trapped in these battles, you stop building. You spend your energy defending someone else's ego, explaining someone else's chaos, and cleaning up someone else's mess. You get rewarded with being included and punished with rejection if you refuse. That's the trap. Belonging becomes a leash. Your old behavior created weakness because you confused proximity with alliance. Machiavelli would tell you that factions do not pull you in because they respect you. They pull you in because they want to use your strength to win their fight. They want your loyalty as a weapon. Once you're committed, you become easier to steer. The psychology is that unstable people need witnesses. They need supporters. They need a crowd to confirm their story. If you step back, you threaten their narrative. So, they make it moral. If you cared, you'd be on my side. That sentence has destroyed more men than any enemy because it turns boundaries into guilt. The power shift is to become neutral, where neutrality protects your mission. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must avoid being dragged into wars that do not serve him, because unnecessary conflict drains resources and creates new enemies. In modern life, your resources are attention, time, and reputation. Every drama you join is a tax on your future. Practically, you stop being the emotional soldier for other people. You say, "I'm not involved." You say, "Handle it directly." You don't carry messages. You don't gossip. You don't validate every complaint. You listen once, then you redirect. At first, people react if you betray them, but the men who matter will respect it because they know you're not for sale. This also connects to a deeper Machiavellian point about being feared versus being loved. Most men hear that line and think it means intimidation. It doesn't. It means consequence. It means when you say you will do something, people believe you. In a stagnant environment, you are loved as long as you are helpful. When you stop being useful, love vanishes. But if your boundaries have consequences, people adjust. They may not like it, but they respect it. Respect keeps you free. And here's the part nobody tells you. Outgrowing an environment often means you start losing your taste for constant emotional explanation. You stop justifying your choices to people who aren't building anything. You stop debating your ambitions with people who don't even manage their own habits. That doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you efficient. When you keep explaining yourself, you keep your future in the hands of the past. You let old versions of you vote on your next move. Machiavelli would call that weak leadership. A leader listens, then decides. He does not ask the crowd to approve the decision that will save him. A sixth sign is when you feel a quiet disgust for the version of you that still performs for approval. This is not hatred, it's evolution. It's your inner ruler waking up and realizing you've been living like a court jester, juggling other people's moods. You catch yourself laughing at jokes that disrespect you. You see yourself agreeing just to avoid tension. You catch yourself shrinking your goals so your friends don't feel insecure. You catch yourself staying in a relationship that drains you because leaving would make you the bad guy. And something inside you goes cold. You can't unsee it. Machiavelli wrote about virtue, the ability to shape your life through strength, decisiveness, and intelligence, even when fortune is unpredictable. When you feel that disgust, it's your virtue demanding space. It's your mind rejecting the old training of obedience. Your old behavior created weakness because you outsourced your identity. You let other people's reactions define what you were allowed to be. That makes you controllable. A man without a firm identity can be pulled by anyone who offers approval or threatens rejection. The psychology is self-betrayal. Every time you violate your own standards, you lose respect for yourself. And when you don't respect yourself, other people sense it. They may not say it, but they treat you accordingly. Respect is not begged for. It is broadcast through consistency. The power shift is to become aligned. You decide what kind of man you are. Then you act like him, even when it is uncomfortable. You stop performing niceness, and you start practicing honor. Honor is not being liked. Honor is keeping your word to yourself. Practically, you set non-negotiables. You don't tolerate certain tones, certain betrayals, certain patterns. You don't punish with drama. You withdraw access. You leave. You also build new environments, because outgrowing is not just about cutting off. It's about upgrading. This is where one quick cameo helps. Nietzsche said that some men are loyal to their chains because they fear freedom more than suffering. That's it. No deep theory. Just a reminder. Your environment may be a chain that feels familiar. Your growth will feel like freedom, and freedom will feel like danger at first. Now you might be thinking, so what do I do? Do I cut everyone off? Do I become ruthless? No. Machiavelli was not telling you to become a monster. He was telling you to stop being naive. There's a difference between cruelty and clarity. Cruelty is impulsive harm. Clarity is measured consequence. If you do nothing with these signs, your environment will finish the job it started. It will domesticate you. You will keep lowering your standards to keep peace. You will keep giving until you resent everyone. You will become passive-aggressive. You will lose your edge. You will start coping. Distractions, addictions, endless scrolling, casual relationships that numb you. You will call it balance, but it will be decay. You will also become predictable, and predictable men are easy to control. Your boss will know you won't leave. Your partner will know you'll forgive anything. Your friends will know you'll always show up when they're bored. Then one day you'll wake up older, heavier, and tired, wondering where your ambition went. It didn't go anywhere. You buried it under the need to be accepted. But if you apply these truths, the shift is brutal and clean. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop asking permission to evolve. You use Machiavelli's lens to read your environment like terrain. You learn where the traps are, where the allies are, and where you need to move. You become selective with access. You protect your time. You speak with fewer words. You let outcomes do the talking. You stop needing applause. And because you stop needing it, you start getting respect from the right people. At first, the transition is uncomfortable because you lose the fake warmth. You lose the people who liked you for your service. You lose the easy invitations. You lose the illusion that everyone is on your side. This can feel like loneliness, but it's actually space. Space is where power grows. Your body will confirm the mismatch before your logic does. Notice how you feel when you enter certain rooms. Your shoulders tighten. Your breathing gets shallow. You start performing. You start scanning faces for approval. That is not you being dramatic. That is your nervous system reading danger. You are surrounded by people who benefit from your weakness. In the right rooms, you feel the opposite. You can be quiet without being punished. You can disagree without being exiled. You can focus without someone trying to pull you into old roles. Your energy stays steady. That steady energy is the signal of fit. As you build new circles, you notice something different. Men who are serious don't punish your standards. They respect them. They don't guilt you for being disciplined. They ask how you did it. They don't smear you for being ambitious. They either collaborate or they move out of the way. Women who respect themselves don't need you to be nice. They need you to be stable, clear, and consistent. They feel safe around a man who can say no without guilt. This is not cruelty. This is not games. This is understanding reality. Machiavelli believed that wishing people were different is a childish strategy. The grown man studies what is, then adapts. You can love people and still see their incentives. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can help others without letting them own you. So integrate this in a simple way. For the next week, observe where you feel pressure to perform. Notice where you explain yourself too much. Notice where you feel guilty for protecting your time. That guilt is not morality. It is conditioning. It is the old environment trying to keep you in place. Then make one move. One clean move that signals evolution. It could be declining an event you always attend. It could be asking for what you're owed at work. It could be ending a conversation the moment it turns disrespectful. It could be reducing contact with a friend who only consumes. The move doesn't need to be loud. It needs to be real. Watch what happens. The reactions will tell you everything. People who value you will adapt. People who use you will resist. That's your map. Remember Machiavelli's warning. Men often judge by the eye, not by the hand. They react to appearance and narrative. So manage your narrative by managing your behavior. Be calm. Be consistent. Don't overshare. Let your standards become normal. Over time, your environment either rises to meet you or it falls away. Your goal is not to destroy your old world. Your goal is to stop being trapped in it. Outgrowing is not betrayal. It is alignment. It is the moment you stop living as a tool and start living as a strategist. And here's your real-world challenge. Choose one environment where you feel the mismatch most. It could be your job, your relationship, your friend group, even your own family dynamic. Decide one boundary you will enforce there, starting today. Not tomorrow. Today. Then enforce it once, calmly, without speeches. If they respect it, you have a path. If they punish it, you have your answer. You don't need to hate anyone. You don't need revenge. You just need movement. The prince who stays in the wrong city gets surrounded. The prince who moves early stays free. If you want more of this kind of clarity, you know what to do. Like the video if it helped you think. Subscribe if you want a steady stream of strategies that make you harder to manipulate and easier to respect. If this hit you, write "I am the strategist" once in the comments, just to mark the day your mindset changed. Stay calm, stay sharp, and remember, the environment that loved your obedience will not celebrate your power. That's not tragedy. That's the proof you're evolving.